Welcome to this video, which is titled Relation Between Man and God. It is an exposition on the spiritual theology of Meister Eckhart. Mr. Eckhart was a medieval Christian theologian and philosopher who wrote extensively about the relationship between God and humanity. Here are a few quotes from his works and sermons which I would like to touch upon. The entire presentation will be based upon amplifying the thoughts of Mr. Eckhart here. Before I start amplifying on the various quotations from his writings and sermons, I would like to say that Eckhart conceptualized God as being integral part of his creation. This is very vital for us to understand the statements which he is making in various sermons and writings. The first quote I would like to take up is, "It's a higher state for God to be in the soul than for the soul to be in God. The soul is not blissful because she is in God. She is blissful because God is in her. Rely upon it. God himself is blissful in the soul." The matter of subjective experience between the divinity and the humanity is that there is a mutual blissfulness, mutual enjoyment of both being present in each other. This is what is meant by this particular verse or this particular quote. This saying is a very powerful saying which indicates the integral nature of God and humanity. The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. This has been an oft-repeated quotation by Teresa of Avila and other great mystics because it's a mystical experience of witnessing God in yourself through the same eye which is both the divine as well as the human. God is not found in the soul by adding anything, but by the process of subtraction. This is a very great Vedic exposition of removing the koshas from ourself, from our ego, from our smaller self, so that we completely eliminate all the coverings before we can reach the divinity, the seat of divinity. This is the meaning of subtraction here. This next saying is critical from the point of view of removing the subject-object relation and the non-dual nature of relationship between God and man. The ultimate and the highest leave-taking is leaving God for God. The soul that is attached to anything, however much good there may be in it, will not arrive at the liberty of divine union. For whether it be a strong wire rope or a slender and delicate thread that holds the bird, it matters not if it really holds it fast, for until the cord is broken, the bird cannot fly. So this indicates the nature of our ties to the material world. These ties, even if they are very flimsy and need not be very strong, yet that particular thread holds you back from the ultimate union with the divine. All that God asks you most pressingly is to go out of yourself and let God be God in you. This particular quote stresses the importance of removing any alienation or differential between yourself and God. This is why it says most pressingly is to go out of yourself. This yourself is the lowest self which is trying to pull you down from reaching the ultimate union. The seed of God is in us. Given an intelligent and hard-working farmer, that is yourself, it will thrive and grow up to God, whose seed it is. Accordingly, its fruits will be God nature. This is a great analogy between a seed which grows up to a tree and bears fruit, where the same seed is identified in the fruit. So the divine and the human, the divine seed which is sown in us, ultimately grows up through our life to become part of the divine through an ultimate union. This next quotation from Eckhart is stressing the importance of a very quiet mind. when we offer our prayer. And he says, the most powerful prayer, one well nigh omnipotent, and the worthiest work of all is the outcome of a quiet mind. The quieter it is, the more powerful, the worthier, the deeper, the more telling and more perfect the prayer is. That is the type of prayer that we have to undertake to have a divine communication. The non-differential nature of outward and inward work in a human life is brought out by Eckhart in this particular quotation. And he says, the outward work can never be small if the inward one is great. And the outward work can never be great or good if the inward one is small or if it is of little worth. It requires very deep understanding to know that whatever we think that we do outwardly is completely independent of our inner nature. And finally, I would like to conclude with this particular quote. Man is the highest parting is to depart from those things that are below him to those things that are above him. Here we are talking about not a spatial location, but we are talking about the nature of our consciousness. Only by elevating our consciousness above from this worldly attachment, from this material attachment, this non-attachment to everything that is around us, which actually strengthens the ego, can really elevate us to the nature of God. These are powerful sayings, and this presentation has very clear indication of the various quotes which are there for your consideration and reflection. Thank you for watching and listening. And have a great life.